In this example, we will learn about the normal distribution and the standard normal distribution. I will also show you an example and how to make the standard normal distribution curve in Excel. We will also learn how to interpret the probabilities under the curve using the norm as dist function in Excel. So before we get started, let's just put our z values here. So z values can be from negative infinity to plus infinity, but the number that you often see in the table starts somewhere from -3 to +3. So let's start our example from there as well. So I'm writing -3 there, and we're going to count down. So let's do 2.9. Once you have typed these two numbers in, you can select both these cells because we're going to take the help of Excel to auto-generate the rest of the numbers. So as you can see on the screen, you're able to see the number range being generated. So I'm going to stop at 3.0. Now, before I go ahead and show you how to calculate the probabilities in Excel and how to interpret the area under the curve, let's talk a little bit about the normal distribution. The normal distribution is a continuous distribution, so it has values ranging from negative infinity to plus infinity. It has a bell-shaped curve, and it will differ depending on the mean and the standard deviation. So the normal distribution can have different values of mean and standard deviation. The mean can be any number, positive, negative, or 0, and the standard deviation can be any positive number. Standard deviation tells us about dispersion in the data set. So when your standard deviation is a small number, you will notice that the curve also tends to be more peaked, and when the standard deviation is a bigger number, you will notice that the peak is more spread out. Now, since there can be infinite number of normal distributions for different combinations of mean and standard deviation, it then becomes difficult to measure the variables using the same scale. Therefore, we standardize the variable using the z formula, which is z equals to x minus your mean divided by your standard deviation. The z value can be interpreted in this manner. The z value is the number of standard deviations to the right or to the left of the mean. The standard normal distribution has a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. So let me give you an example. At a university, the same course is being taught by different professors. But because every professor has a different teaching method, it will be difficult to measure the performance results of students in each class with one another. But if each instructor teaching the different sections of the same class decides to take the average of the course and standardizes the results, we can then use those results across the different sections and compare them. The normal distribution, once it has been standardized, has a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. So now going back to our value column called the z values, ranging from -3 to +3. Now here I'm going to show you how you can use the normal standard distribution function in Excel to generate the probabilities. So in Excel, the function starts with equal to norm, and you will see the norm.s.dist function pop up. So let's go ahead and double click on it. Now this is going to ask you for the z value. So you're going to select -3. So we're doing cell referencing here in order to apply the formulas all the way down. Comma. The second argument here is asking for true or false. So for now, let's go ahead and select the false statement. Let's close our bracket, press enter. Now we're going to do autofill and drag it all the way to +3. Once our values have been generated, I'm just going to type in a label here. So this was the probability density function. Now, using these two columns, let's go ahead and generate our bell curve. So I'm selecting the data set. Then we're going to click on the Insert tab. And right here where you have the scatter plot option, you're going to click on the down arrow and you're going to select this option, the scatter plot with smooth lines. Let's go ahead and delete the center axis and let's maximize the screen. So this is how our bell curve looks like for our standard normal distribution, ranging from -3 to +3. As you guys know, the tail on the left hand side goes to infinity and the tail on the right hand side can go to infinity. Mean is 0, standard deviation is 1, the negative values are on the left hand side and the positive values are on the right hand side. So if you cut this bell curve in half, you're going to get 2 equal parts. So this bell curve is symmetric. So now I'm going to move it to the side here in order to use our true statement. So let's go ahead and do the same here. So equals to norm s dot dist, and we're going to select our z value of -3, comma, and here we're going to select the true option. So let's call this the cumulative probability function. And let's do autofill and fill the rest of the cells. Z tables that you often see usually start from 0.5 and end all the way to 0.99, or they start from 0.0 and end at 0.5. Both those tables are correct and you can use either one. So now I'm going to show you how to interpret the probabilities that you have generated if you are using Excel. Now let us examine the probability associated with -2. How do we interpret this value of 0.0027 here? Before I get started, I'm going to reduce the decimal place. So you can do that if you like from under the Home tab right here in the center. You're going to click on the decrease decimal place. Probability results are usually displayed as 4 digits, so I'm going to use that same format. Okay, so let's look at where -2 is under our curve. So under our curve, -2 is right here. Okay. This 0.0028 probability that you generated using the norm s dist function using the true statement, which meant you were calculating the cumulative probability function, is the probability of less than -2, meaning this 0.0228 signifies the percent or the probability under the curve all the way on this left hand side. Let's look at another value, -1. Drag my curve here. Okay, so let's mark where -1 is. So 0 is right here in the center, -1 is on the left hand side. This value of 0.1587 is the probability less than the z value. If you want to find probabilities less than the z value, which in this case is -1, it's going to be 0.1587. If you want to find the probability less than the z value of -2, it's going to be 0.228. What if you want to find probability greater than the z value? If you want to find the probability greater than -1, the technique you need to use is equals to 1 minus this value. So the idea here is area under the curve is equals to 1. When you add up these two probabilities, you get 1. Probability less than -1 is 0.1587. Probability more than or higher than or greater than -1 is 0.8413. Similarly here, the probability value when it's less than -2, it's going to be 0.0228. When it's greater than -2, you would do 1 minus 0.0228. So the idea here again, this is where number 2 is, -2, okay? So the area on the left hand side of -2 is equals to 0.0228. The area on the right hand side equals to 0.9772. In this example where we have z value of -1, which is right here, this 0.1587 is the area less than -1. The 0.8413 is the area greater or on the right side of -1. What if you wanted to find the probability between -1 and -2? For that, you take the difference of 0.0228 from 0.1587. So this 0.1359 is the probability between -1 and -2. You can also find it in another way. You can use your norm dist function using the true statement. So if here you wanted to find the probability between -2 and -1, you would just do equals to norm s dist. Okay, so first you choose your first z value, use the true statement, close bracket, minus, again you do the norm s dist function. This time you choose -1 for the z value and just use your true statement. Oh, one more bracket. Okay, so the answer you get is the same, 0.1359. This is the probability between z value of -1 and -2. Let's look at another example. Let's examine the z value of -2.6. And let's look at the cumulative probability function result, which was 0.0047. Now under your bell curve, -2.6 will be somewhere around here. This 0.0047 is the area under the curve less than -2.6. Okay? And if you wanted to find the probability when it's greater than -2.6, you do 1 minus 0.0047. So this 0.0047 is the area or the probability on the left hand side or less than -2.6, and this 0.9953 is the probability or the area on the right hand side of -2.6. So this was my quick video on how to generate the bell curve in Excel, how to find the probabilities under the curve using Excel, and how to interpret the values that you get.